And welcome every pony again to Mystery Pony Fiction. And guess what, guys? I went and made a brand new intro from scratch. So let's start off with that.
It's the Mystery Pony Fiction channel. Mystery. Also available as a podcast on Spotify. Pony. And Izzy Moonbow is best pony, by the way. Fiction. Bro, hoof, comment, subscribe. Ring that bell.
So, welcome everyone. So today I'm going to be continuing the audio editing of the Ballad of Smarty Pants. Now I was a bit worried today that I was going to have to cancel again because there's a concert being set up right outside my place in the in a local park, and they were doing a sound test, and they were literally reverberating the walls of my apartment, and I wasn't able to do anything involving turning my microphone on because it would have been recording copyrighted music. But I've gone back out there just now, and it looks like whatever concert they were setting up is not happening tonight. They were just doing a sound test earlier today. So fortunately that's not something we need to worry about. So I'm going to go ahead to full screen and minimize OBS. And now I've got the YouTube chat on the side here in case there's anyone that decides to talk. Now we are going to begin with opening up the project that I was part of the way through last time. And yeah, I've been looking forward to getting back to this, but now that's a different project that I'm working on. So let's bring back up the Smarty Pants one. The Ballad of Smarty Pants. Okay, now I've been feeling a lot of energy recently regarding my YouTube channel, thanks to the fact that I have been gaining an unbelievable amount of subscribers recently. If I go over here, the Mystery Pony Fiction. Okay, I can see that the stream is indeed working. If I go over here and look at my YouTube analytics, I have gained 88 subscribers in the last 28 days, which is over 9,999, more than the previous 28 days. And I go to the last 7 days. I gained 5, then 39, then 15, then 22 new subscribers. So I've felt really energized to actually do something for all these new people. Now I know that there is a reason for that, other than me hitting my head against the wall for years and years. So if I go to last 365 days, that's what my subscriber count looks like. And it's just been the last couple days that it has suddenly soared. And the reason that it suddenly soared is because I decided to try out this promotions thing where I get YouTube to officially promote my video, and I made this commercial quite a while ago, which is probably why a lot of you new people are here. I don't know how it works, whether YouTube shows this as an ad when you're watching other content on YouTube. But basically, I assigned $35 to have YouTube show people this video. And out of the $35, they've so far spent $11.47, and 524 people have seen my commercial, and 66 have subscribed because of it. And I think about another 20 have just joined the channel in general. I don't know, because the word of mouth is going around a lot more. And I just wanted to, thank everyone that's decided to check out this channel. I had a pretty bad experience the last time I tried this. This ended, doesn't say what date, but this was maybe a year or even 2 years ago. I spent $20. Only 50 people saw my commercial and 8 people subscribed, which is a pretty good ratio. 50 people see it, 8 subscribe. But today it's been way more effective. There's still $20 left to go of this promotion, and I could probably, if it keeps going the way it is, I could probably end up with 200 or more subscribers by May 11th, which is when this promotion's running till. So I thought that would be interesting for you guys to know. I have been spending years just hitting my head against the wall, trying to follow all the advice and tag things and do all those strategies that they tell you in YouTube school, or all those scammy courses that try to tell you how to get views on YouTube. And I've just gone and done it through legitimate means, only $35, and this has been the result. I've suddenly gotten about 80 new subscribers in the last few days. So welcome. Now that I've gotten that spiel out of the way, let's just get on with what we're here for. When I left off last time, I was getting extremely tired, and I decided to call it a night. And then I had a day of work that was complete torture, because by the time I started my shift at work, I'd been awake for a long time, because I spent all day doing stuff for my channel, because that's been my obsession lately with how much my subscribers have soared. I don't want to play video games. I don't want to do anything like that lately. I just want to get YouTube work done and create lots of extra content for the couple of members that I've got now, and maybe entice more people to join with putting up a lot of content that will be early access for new people that join. So I will probably do a little self-advertisement at about the halfway point. I don't know how long this is going to take. This could be a 2-hour video, a 3-hour video. That's kind of what I expect for the video editing process. So let's just stop yammering and get to it. The things that I'm going to need to have open in my browser is Freesound. I got Suno in case I need to make more music. And I've got ChatGPT. And I think that's all I need. Now, when I left off last time, I left these 2 marks to myself to remind myself. So there's this bit where want it, need it comes in. So I'm probably going to want some sort of musical cue that suits that. And then the CMC come in. So let's catch myself up on what part of the story I'm in and what kind of music I might want to generate for it, or what to pick out of what I've made already. I just got a ding on my phone. I'm just going to check what it is. Okay.
She's great.
Let me check that you guys are hearing that on OBS.
Great. Yeah, great. I really like her mane. They looked nice enough.
I think I did pretty cool with that voice crack there. I think I got pretty close.
Like her mane. They looked nice enough. But I wanted to stay with Twilight. Why didn't she want me anymore? I did a good job guarding her things in the trunk, even though it was dark and scary, even though I wanted to sleep with her in the bed. I did what she wanted and now she was getting rid of me. Why? She even comes with her own notebook and quill for when you want to pretend that she's doing her homework, Twilight said. So who wants to play with her first? The others didn't seem like they wanted to play with me, but that was okay. I just wanted to stay with Twilight. If they didn't want me, she would take me back and we could be friends again. Then she could write to Celestia about how we became friends again and solved her friendship problem. I was so happy that I was able to help. You're going to like Smarty Pants. You're going to like her more than anything, Twilight said. She cast the want it, need it spell on me.
Right, so she cast the want it, need it spell. So this is where I'm going to want some sort of magic sound effect. That's what I was a bit too tired to think of at the time. So we're going to want magic. Yeah, magic spell. Oh, right. Let's not forget. I have to turn the audio of my computer off while I sample these because some of them are copyrighted and I won't know. You know, I explained it last time, but I just hope I don't forget to turn it back on afterwards. Okay, that's pretty good because it's got multiple types of that I could use. But what is it? It's Creative Commons 0, which is great. Creative Commons 0 means I don't have to worry about attributing crap to anyone. So that was lucky. The first one I found is very appropriate because it's actually done multiple sounds. And now I can turn my desktop sound back on so that you guys can hear it once I put it into the thingamajig. Sound. Okay. After only a couple projects, I'm starting to get a bit overwhelmed with how much there is. So I could either go by date, or the easiest way is I usually go into my browser and I click the download, what was most recently downloaded, and click the folder. And then it automatically highlights the latest sound effect that I downloaded. Okay, now let's decide which magical sound effect will best suit the want it, need it spell.
She cast the want it, need it spell on me.
What does this one sound like? Alright, I think I'm going to go with that one and then have that little bit of a tinkle at the end there. Before it starts into the next sound effect. So I'm going to take these and I'm going to move them over here to possibly use later if there's other times that I need some sort of magic sound effect. And that way I can have a variety and not have the same one every time. So She cast the want it need it spell on me.
Need it spell on me.
I'm going to fade that out a bit so that it ends cleanly. And the other thing, so I put a reminder that the CMC come in here. So I'm thinking that
This is Smarty Pants.
instead of this sort of generic music that I made, I want to make something specifically for when she meets the CMC. So let's go to ChatGPT, see if I can find the when was I last working with? As you can see, I've been doing a couple of different projects while I wait to start this stream, because I actually woke up early enough that I could have done the stream earlier, but I realized I'd already committed to the time that I did, so I just started getting other projects done. So Flex Tape song request. I probably had it at the end of the Bon Homie song creation, didn't I? Yeah. Yeah, so this is the song about... Yep, so we'll continue with this line of ChatGPT text. Oh yeah, I need a prompt for when Twilight starts making new friends as an adult. Okay. I need a prompt for when Twilight meets the QT Mark Crusaders and tries to give Smarty Pants away. Alright. I don't think I need to specify soon though. The history of this chat should probably... Let's try pressing the reason button. See if it gets a better result. Thinking. Timid, whimsical, orchestral, staccato, pizarro, blah blah blah. So this playful yet uneasy. Okay, now into Sooner we go. Now I've got my workspace open, which is where I've put a couple of generic things that I'm working on. So here's a couple of teasers as to what's coming up. But I want to go to the Ballad of Smarty Pants workspace where it will all be grouped together. Clear the prompt. Make sure I put the ballad. This is why I should open Thin Fiction. And get that story up for multiple reasons, including maybe having to go and look at the text again. And I just want to copy that. Make sure the spelling is always correct, no matter where I'm typing it. Ballad of Smarty Pants, and let's put in those style tags. It is indeed instrumental only. No, okay, obviously that's what I just copied now. I got to go back and copy that. So many tabs all over the place. And that's not even many tabs. I cleaned up my tabs before I started streaming. And let's go for that. I maybe should have mentioned that Twilight was going a bit crazy, because obviously that's a reference to lesson 0. Yeah, I think that that works. I'll just listen to the second one while I wait. That's a bit bouncier. I think I'm going to go for the second one, but I've got to wait for it to load. Now, what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start creating the entire soundtrack of each audiobook that I make. At least I'm going to try to. Hopefully that won't be too intimidating of a task, but make it form as an extra feature for members only. I'm going to be releasing the full soundtrack for the Applejack Loses It, Applejack Finally Snaps soundtrack. Okay, because I am starting again, I'm going to have to manually put in that this is the 14th song for Ballad of Smarty Pants. So when I create the soundtrack video afterwards, I am also going to include any songs in the soundtrack that I make that don't end up being used. So I'm going to wait for this one so that I can do that. Now how long I will have the energy to keep doing that for every single audiobook? On my old computer, it was unfeasible because I was constantly having to delete files and it was just a mess over there. But while I'm on a fresh new computer and things aren't such a mess, I think I can try to provide the soundtrack of each audiobook that I make, at least for now, as a members only feature. And the Applejack Finally Snaps soundtrack will be the first sample of that to non-members of this channel. I knew it. I swear I pressed the friggin' folder. It always does that the first time. Okay, so I've just created song 14 and 15. I only intend to use the shorter one for the bit where we're talking about the Cutie Mark Crusaders. And then I will go into that song, I think. So fade it slightly into the track before. Bring it down to the same as the last one, 22. And let's see.
She was mine when I was your age, and now I want to give her to you. What? She held me there in the air with her magic as the other three ponies looked at me. They were younger, like Twilight used to be. She's...
Okay, now I think this is slightly too loud, mainly because of the fact that I can visibly see a lot of the peaks in the audio here. So even though the last track was pretty quiet and was fine being at minus 22 decibels, I'm going to bring this one down to 24 so that the peaks are barely visible, because I've learned a long time ago that you don't want the music to be too distracting.
She's great. Yeah, great. I really like her mane. They looked nice enough, but I wanted to stay with Twilight. Why didn't she want me anymore? I did a good job guarding her things in the trunk, even though it was dark and scary, even though I wanted to sleep with her in the bed. I did what she wanted, and now she was getting rid of me. Why? She even comes with her own notebook and quill for when you want to pretend that she's doing her homework, Twilight said. So who wants to play with her first? The others didn't seem like they wanted to play with me.
I think that's a good little musical break there. So I like the music. I think it's pretty appropriate. It's kind of silly in a way. Sort of like Twilight's mental state at the time of Lesson 0.
Who wants to play with her first? The others didn't seem like they wanted to play with me, but that was okay. I just wanted to stay with Twilight. If they didn't want me, she would take me back and we could be friends again. Then she could write to Celestia about how we became friends again and solved her friendship problem. I was so happy that I was able to help. You're going to like Smarty Pants. You're going to like her more than anything, Twilight said. She cast the wanted needed spell on me.
Okay, let's have a bit of the silly music. Up to, I think...
Wanted needed spell on me.
And I think that'll be a good time for it to return to the story. 24 minus 24. Fade in.
There you go, Twilight. She cast the wanted needed spell on me.
Okay, it looks like I had a second take for that, which I should have done.
She cast the wanted needed spell on me.
I think I worded it better the second time, so let's hope that doesn't disrupt what I've already put in place.
She cast the wanted needed spell on me. There you go.
Okay, it seems to still fit.
There you go, Twilight. You could write to Celestia and tell her that you learned a new spell. But she wasn't fast enough to undo the spell. The other 3 ponies started to fight over me, grabbing me and pulling at my hooves and legs, yanking and tugging in different directions. I wasn't a young pony anymore and could feel myself starting to break.
Okay, this is starting to get a bit intense. I think the music I was using before is going to be a bit too down. I usually don't put this much thought into it, but this is an important one, this particular audiobook, because of the fact that I'm making a tutorial about it and that it belongs to Shakespeare Calise. I think I want something, continuing the same vibe. So I think I'm going to just go with the next, number 15. Just continue to have that vibe. And then I might soon be getting to the sad parts which I should already have the music generated for.
They're hurting me! Twilight drove into the fray to try to rescue me, but it was no use. The other 3 were too much for her. She was thrown from the ruckus into a big red pony. She enlisted his help, and he was able to get away. She was thrown from the ruckus into. She was thrown from.
Big bunch of bad takes there.
For her. She was thrown from the ruckus into a big red pony. She enlisted his help, and he was able to get me away from the other 3 fighting over me. Thank you so much. Now, if you could just give her to me, Twilight said. She wanted me back. I knew she would. I knew she would want her best friend back. Oh, happy days. Nope, was his only reply, and he ran off, carrying me away from under the effects of the spell. Twilight! Help! The further she ran, the more ponies were affected.
I could try to go all out and get like horse galloping sounds and stuff, but I don't want this to take forever. I gotta tone down on what I used to do, where I was pedantic about giving a sound effect to everything.
Twilight! Help!
I could go back to Suno and ask for music regarding the chaos of them fighting over the doll, but I can't be spending too long on this.
The further she ran, the more ponies were affected. Soon there was a mountain of ponies clambering all over each other trying to get to me. Soon there was a mountain of ponies clambering all over each other trying to get to
Okay.
all over each other to try to get to me. Another pony grabbed me and ran. Okay. Clamoring all.
I'm starting. I'm back, aren't I?
Clamoring all over. Clamoring.
Okay, where was clamoring?
Clamoring all over. Of ponies clamoring all over each other to try to get to me. Another pony grabbed me and ran off away from him and the pile. It wasn't Twilight. I just wanted to get back to Twilight. A flying pony swooped down and grabbed me. Another tried to steal me away, but she held firm. The two Pegasi pulled at me in a tug of war. The two Pegasi pulled at me in a tug. The two Pegasi pulled at me in a tug of war, stretching.
Okay, I think I do want some more appropriate music for this part. So now I'm going to need a prompt for when ponies are fighting over Smarty Pants. Chaotic barn dance. Oh, that last thing I put in was over 200 characters. That was a mistake on your part, Suno. Alright. Let's create that one. It's gonna be a pretty damn big soundtrack for this audiobook. I've just got to stop being this fussy about getting things perfect, or else this is going to take another 8 hours. This will be an 8-hour stream. But I don't know. I just want to do this one last thing because it's just so appropriate to have the musical vibe change when there's this chaos going on. Oh yeah, let's listen to it. Yeah, that works. Okay, I think I like the second one better. And I guess it kind of fits, you know, with Big Mac coming into the picture at this point, to have the country themed music. Okay, I got to try to make this the last time I create new music for this, because I don't know if you guys want an 8-hour stream. I shouldn't really be thinking of it that way. I should just be thinking it takes as long as it takes. But even then, I've got limited time until I could, for all I know, get a call to come into work with 2 hours notice. And I've got other projects I want to do. My goal is to try to get my channel 4 new audiobook projects ahead at all times for my members, and to entice new members to join. Wow, this one's 4 minutes long. Because I keep falling short of that when I kind of run out of my creative energy, when I start to get a bit dejected that no one's ever subscribing to my channel or my subscriber numbers are dropping. I totally pressed the right button. I absolutely pressed the folder button. Anyway. It always does that the first time. Okay. Let's try to promise myself this will be the last new music I make. But then there's probably going to be another part in the story where I get another idea. Okay, yeah, I was going to go with the long one. I liked the long one better. And I'm going to start it from earlier.
The further she ran, the more ponies were affected. Soon there was a mountain of ponies. Twilight! Help!
Okay, what I'm going to do... I'll move that over to maybe come back in later.
The further she ran, the further she ran.
Okay, the transition is a bit awkward there. Let's see if I can make it better. Okay, this one's going to need to have the volume lowered even more than usual because it's a pretty loud song. Maybe drag it through a bit more.
The further she ran, the more ponies were affected. Soon there was a mountain of ponies. clambering all over each other to try to get to me. Another pony grabbed me and ran off away from him and the pile. It wasn't Twilight. I just wanted to get back to Twilight. A flying pony swooped down and grabbed me. Another tried to steal me away, but she held firm. The two Pegasi pulled at me in a tug-of-war, stretching me apart. Both lost their grip and I was sent tumbling through the air, only for more ponies to fight over me. I didn't want to be in the dark trunk. I just wanted to go on an adventure with Twilight, but I didn't want this. I was being dropped and pulled and bit and stepped on. I don't know what I did wrong. I don't know what I did wrong. Twilight, I'm sorry. Please help me. Twilight Sparkle.
Okay, here's the bit where Celestia comes in. God damn it, that might need another music change. Alright, I've got to stop being so...
Please help me.
I think the best thing to do is to just have the music stop. And bam. Stop suddenly. And then...
Twilight.
I'll fade it out.
Twilight Sparkle.
And whenever I have a princess using the Royal Cancelot voice, I want to put in a reverb and have Cathedral, the Cathedral preset. And then I also, because if we listen to it now,
Twilight Sparkle.
the echo will just cut off suddenly, so I want to fade the echo out.
Twilight Sparkle. A booming voice came from above.
Okay, now I'm going to try to go back to a more generic music. I think it was this one. If she comes back and fixes things. It'll stop the music for dramatic tension and then drop back some more tame music.
Twilight Sparkle. A booming voice came from above. It was Celestia. In a flash of light, the spell was gone and every pony stopped fighting over me. The ponies all left, but not without one stepping on me one last time. I was in rough shape. Still, I was just happy to still be in one piece. A pony picked me up. It wasn't Twilight, it was the big red one again. And that was when I met Big Macintosh.
That was when I met Big Macintosh. Do for a bit. Let's try not to have too many musical interludes, or the musical interludes will be longer than the actual reading parts. And this song can be a bit higher in volume because it's a soft song. So we'll go with 22.
Big Macintosh was a lot like me. He wasn't much of a talker, but I could tell that he was a good listener. During the time that I spent with him, we played much like I had with Twilight before we moved to Ponyville. He and I would sit at a small table and he would serve tea, just like Twilight used to. I didn't care much for tea back then, and that hadn't really changed. I guess he could tell because after he drank his tea, he would drink mine. Our tea parties were a bit quieter than Twilight's. Twilight always had something that she wanted to talk about.
Okay, hang on.
Twilight always had something that she wanted to talk about. I missed her voice. I missed sleeping in her bed with her. I just missed her.
There was a minor peak on my, I don't know, some sort of splash on my mic, but nothing I can really do about that.
I just missed her. Big Mac wouldn't let me sleep in his bed either. Big Mac wouldn't let me sleep in his bed either. Big Mac wouldn't let me sleep in his bed either. When we weren't alone together, he kept me under his little sister's bed. He would play with me as often as he could at first, but like Twilight, as time went on, it became less and less. And then not at all. I didn't see another pony's face for a long while until his sister, Applejack, was looking for her little sister, Applebloom. She lifted the bed in her search, finding me instead.
Is this where I need to start getting sad and dark? Let me listen for a little longer. So, loneliness starts here. Lonely.
And not at all. I didn't see another pony's face for a long while until his sister, Applejack, was looking for her little sister, Applebloom. She lifted the bed in her search, finding me instead. Oh, hi! And dropped it back down again. And then she was gone. And I was alone again in the dark. But she came back a couple days later, this time taking me out from under the bed. Just trying to figure out who's speaking here.
There was probably some background noise I was waiting to pass. I was reading.
I'm going to guess it's Applejack or Applebloom. Twilight's doll that had the spell? Yes, please bring me back.
Right, I should probably look at the story. I'm getting confused now. Oh, okay. That's where the... Okay, I didn't realise we were into the second chapter yet. And that's when I met Big Macintosh. In that case, I should probably have a pretty significant... Did I have a significant... I guess so.
Twilight sparkle! A booming voice came from above. It was Celestia. In a flash of light, the spell was gone, and every pony stopped fighting over me. The ponies all left.
The ponies all left. Previous chapter. Ponies all left. Ponies all left. A pony picked me up. It wasn't Twilight, it was the big red one. That was Big Macintosh.
And that was when I met Big Macintosh.
Right.
Big Macintosh was a lot like me. He wasn't much of a talker.
I'm just going to have that musical interlude go a little bit longer since it's a new chapter. Should I? I don't know.
Big Macintosh was a lot like me. He wasn't much of a talker, but I could tell that he was a good listener. During the time that I spent with him, we played much like I had with Twilight before we moved to Ponyville. But she came back a couple days later, this time taking me out from under the bed.
This time taking me out from under the bed, then...
Twilight's doll that had the...
Is that what was next? Taking me out from under the bed. Seems like I should have it start to get sad, but then it sort of picks back up again pretty soon. So I think I should still save the sad, lonely.
Twilight, as time went on, it became less and less. And then not at all.
So I think I might. Alright, I think these are the two sad ones here. Alright. I can have a brief bit of sadness here. I'm overthinking this so much.
His bed. He would play with me as often as he could at first, but like Twilight, as time went on, it became less and less. And then not at all. I didn't see another pony's face for a long And then not at all. I didn't see another pony's face for a long while until his sister, Applejack, was looking for her little sister, Applebloom. She lifted the bed in her search, finding me instead. Oh, hi! And dropped it back down again. And dropped it back down again. And then she was gone. And I was alone again in the dark. But she came back a couple days later, this time taking me out. But she came back a couple days later, this time taking me out from under the bed. Twilight's doll that had the spell? Yes, please bring me back to Twilight. How did this end up here? She asked her siblings. The red one somehow turned a deeper red. I took it, he admitted. Well, you need to bring it back to her, you understand? Yup. Understand? Yup. Intermission. I thought that I would never see her face again, but there she was. It was Twilight.
Okay, so I think I'll have this transition from dark into light again. Sounds good.
Stairs, even louder than the thunder from her first big test.
What?
Never see you again. I was scared too. I thought that I would never see her face. I thought that I would never see her face again, but there she was. It was twilight. She looked strange, she looked happy and sad at the same time. She was smiling, but she was crying as they handed me over to her. She took me in her hooves and held me, hugging me tightly. All of the pain of being fought over, the dark and loneliness in the trunk and under the bed, none of it mattered anymore. I was back in her hooves and she hugged me. She loved me and I loved her. Everything was all better. And it was.
Man, I think I realized my mouse clicks are pretty loud. My mouse is really close to the microphone.
Everything was all better. And it was. Twilight carried me everywhere in her bag with her. She helped me. She held me tight beside her as she laid in bed to sleep. She talked to me when we were alone. She hadn't talked to me in so long. I missed you so much, she said, sitting with me at the breakfast table. I missed you too. I didn't think I would ever see you again. I was scared too. I'm so happy to see you again. I'm happy that you're happy. That's all that's ever mattered to me. I remember when she finally achieved her dream. She used to tell me when she used to tell me when she was a little filly about how she wanted to become a princess someday. As she got older, that little dream just kind of came and went. But then one night, she did it! And the next time I saw her, she had wings! But then one night, she did it! And the next time I saw her, she had wings! Every time I thought that I had seen her at her happiest, she always surprises me. She shows me her wings, showing off her big accomplishment. I showed her my notebook. It said that 2 + 2 = 4. It was my big accomplishment. I was very proud of it. I will never forget that day. She taught me that 2 + 2 = 4. I gave her the right answer and she helped me write it in the notebook since I wasn't very good at writing. Twilight.
Okay, let me have a look at the story, see what the pacing is. Let's get to that. Oh, just to be held by her again. Here we go. I think this is about to be where it gets sad. She picked me up, blah blah, wings like her. I don't think I'm there yet. I'm still waiting for the... What's next?
Twilight was always such a busy pony, but ever since she... Twilight, since I wasn't very good at writing.
So I've got to get another song starting now.
Since I wasn't very good at writing. Twilight.
I can probably go back to a previous... absorb it back into a previous one. Let's see if this has the right vibe.
Twilight was always such a busy pony, but ever since she got her wings, she had been even busier. Twilight was always such a busy pony, but ever since she got her wings, she had been even... But ever since she got her wings, she had been even busier. She spent long hours downstairs in her lab, but I was there with her, sitting on the lab bench nearby. Sometimes she would fall asleep in her chair. I would have preferred to have slept in the bed with her, but it was okay. I was nearby Twilight, and that was good enough.
I was nearby Twilight, and that was good enough. Okay, I think that's good for a short break.
Good enough. One morning, Twilight woke up in her lab seat with a start. "I'm tardy," she said. Start. "I'm tardy," she said, rushing to ready herself. She ran up the stairs, leaving me behind. She ran up the stairs, leaving me behind. She ran up the
Okay. Now the dark song. Yeah, I think this is a good time for it.
trunk before. I heard noises from above. She ran up the stairs, leaving me behind that day. She didn't come back. A few days later, there was a very loud rushing to ready herself. She ran up the stairs, leaving rushing to ready herself. She ran up the stairs, leaving me behind that day. She didn't come back. A few days later, there was a very loud noise from upstairs, even louder than the thunder from her first big test. The walls and ceiling shook, and stuff fell off of the bench and broke on the floor, and the light went dark. It was scary. I was scared of the dark, and I laid there, helpless, in the dark for weeks.
So I think this is when the library gets destroyed. So I'm probably going to want some sort of sound effect for that. Earthquake. Quake. With debris. Debris. Oh, whoops. No, not debris. Debris. And I'm going to turn sound off on the desktop again while I sample some. Oh, that is perfect. Now, what is it? Creative Commons 0. Awesome. Sound and turn desktop audio back on, and you guys are about to hear it.
Seat with a start. "I'm tardy," she said, rushing to ready herself. She ran up the stairs, leaving me behind that day. She didn't come back. A few days later, there was a very loud noise from upstairs, even louder than the thunder from her first big test. The walls and ceiling shook, and stuff fell off of the bench and broke on the floor, and the light went dark. It was scary. I was scared of the dark, and I laid there, helpless, in the dark for weeks. It wasn't as long as it had been in the trunk before. Dark for weeks. It wasn't
dark for weeks. What does that look like in the pacing of the fic? I was in the dark for weeks. Helpless in the dark for weeks. Chopping and scraping the ground and rubble. It wouldn't be appropriate for me to emphasize that part because it goes straight on to the next sentence. It was okay. and the light went dark. It was scary. I was scared of the dark. I need to stop it there.
And I laid there, helpless, in the dark for weeks.
Hang on, what's going on here? I was scared of the dark.
Light went dark. It was scary. I was scared of the dark. And I laid there, helpless, in the dark.
Dark for weeks. The walls and ceiling shook. Light went dark. It was scary. I was scared of the dark. I gotta go back a bit.
And stuff fell off of the bench and broke on the floor. And the light went dark. It was scary. I was scared of the dark.
I was scared of the dark. That's where I gotta stop.
Dark. It was scary. I was scared of the dark.
Okay, here. I'm gonna wanna have the musical intermission start there for a fair bit.
Scared of the dark. And I laid there, helpless, in the dark for weeks. It wasn't as long as it had been in the trunk before. I heard noises from above. Chopping and scraping at the ground. Chopping and scraping at the ground and rubble. Some dirt fell and I saw sunlight. Twilight's lab, one of them said. Twilight's lab, one of them said. Twilight's lab, one of them said. I recognized it as one of her friends. Get down there and salvage whatever you can. Get down there. Get down there and salvage whatever you can to bring to her new castle. The blue one, with every colour hair, flew down with a big box, grabbing anything that wasn't broken off of the bench, including me, even though I felt broken inside. I was somewhere in the middle of the box, with more stuff on top of me. She flew up out of the hole in the ceiling. I could just barely see the book tree place that we had been living. It was completely destroyed. She closed the lid and everything was dark again. I felt us moving. I felt the box. I felt us moving. I felt the box get put down, and there, again, I waited, alone and afraid in the dark. But it wasn't for as long this time. In the dark. But it wasn't for as long this time. Went back, stuffed the lab in the box.
Alright, now.
Went back, stuffed the lab in the box. I heard a pony say.
So this is Pony's voices getting muffled by the, getting muffled by something. Now, muffle was a sound effect that I used to have saved as a template back on my old computer, but now I'm having to do things over again. So I'm probably going to have to learn right now how to make the muffle effect again. I know that it's something to do with track EQ. And there's all this stuff. But I'm gonna have to watch the YouTube video again that shows me how to do it. I wonder if I'll end up finding it the same one, because I literally made this like 2 or 3 years ago, and then I saved it as a audio event template. Now how much am I going to have to worry about copyright looking for this video about creating the muffle sound effect? I wonder if I'll end up finding the same one. Let's see. Vegas Pro. Muffled audio. Muffled audio effect. Maybe just yep, that's what it looks like. I remember that's what it looks like in that thumbnail there. I suppose 12 years ago. Only 500 views, really? Okay, well let's hope watching this isn't going to get copyright or whatever. It would be ironic if this really is the video I watched that taught it to me the first time. And maybe it is, because it started off a couple seconds in.
Well guys, that's what I'm going to be showing you to do. It's really easy to do, so let's get started. So let's open up Sony Vegas, and I'm going to import a song. This is the same song that I used in the preview that I showed you, and by the way, that preview is not done, guys. I'm going to be fully editing that. I'm going to be editing the shit out of that, so yeah, just thought I'd let you know. So anyway, to get the muffled sound effect, we just need to go to Track Effects. So click on that, and you want to go to Track EQ, and you just want to click on 4, and you want to drag that down, and you just want to drag that to 2.
Just like I remember. Slightly before 2. And then what else?
Just like that. And you want to make sure the frequency is at 350. Well, I guess
Frequency 350.
you can change that to maybe 400 or 380, but I guess it really doesn't make that much of a difference. But yeah, that's what you have to do, guys. And you can also save this preset.
Yep. That is probably literally the video that I saw. And now I'm going to save this as a muffle preset. And let's see if it works.
Time went back, stopping lab in the box. I heard a pony.
Oh yeah, I turned my... So it also decreases the volume slightly, which is appropriate. I turned my volume up to listen to that YouTube video, and now I've got to turn it back down for my own sound.
But it wasn't for as long this time. Went back. Dumping lab in the box. I heard a pony say, muffled in the box. The box shifted again. Thank you, I heard her say.
So, credit to Original Heezy with 198 subscribers. I better give it a like. I don't know if I gave it a like the first time. So yeah, that brings back some memories.
Muffled in the box. The box shifted again. Thank you, I heard her say. I heard Twilight's voice. At least I thought I did. I hoped I did. The lid Thank you, I heard her say.
Okay. There's some hope coming back to Smarty Pants, so I think I need something a bit more uplifting again. No. That sounds good. Oh, we're actually getting to the pointy end.
I heard a pony say, muffled in the box. The box shifted again. Thank you, I heard her say. I heard Twilight's voice. At least I thought I did. I hoped I did. The lid opened. A hoof sifted through the items in the box. Then I felt it. I felt her hoof on me again. She pushed a couple things aside, and there she was. I saw her standing there over the box looking at me. Twilight, I've missed you. I love you. She picked me up. Oh. Okay. She picked me up. She picked me up. Oh, just to be held by her again. Just to go with her and lay in her...
Uh-oh. Okay, apparently OBS disconnected and reconnected. I'm not sure what that means. Apparently I'm still streaming. Let me have a look at the live. Still live. Let me have a look at... Well, it's still going. I'm not sure what that looked like to you guys. But maybe I just had a small internet hiccup, but OBS and YouTube streaming was able to compensate for it without any issues.
She picked me up. Oh, just to be held by her again. Just to go with her and lay in her... She picked me up. Just to go... She picked me up.
I was probably getting thirsty there.
I've missed you. I love you. She picked me up. Oh, just to be held by her again. Just to go with her and lay in her bed with her again. Twilight? She looked tired, older, sad. I was so happy to see her again. Was she?
Now I gotta go for something a bit... So, a bit of optimism, and then we gotta go back to a little bit of sadness.
Tired, older, sad. I was...
Okay, I think this might work.
Twilight? She looked tired, older, sad. I was so happy to see her again. Was she not happy to see me? I had my notebook with me. It said that 2 + 2 = 4. She was so proud of me then. Was she not proud of me anymore? Was it because I never grew big like her? Because I never got my cutie mark? Or wings like her? Twilight! She frowned and put me back in the box. Twilight!
Ooh, I think that worked alright. Put me back in the box. Twilight.
Twilight! Twilight!
Ooh, almost sounded like a box closing there. Just by luck from the music.
She frowned and put me back in the box. Twilight! She put her hooves on the cover flaps of the box. Twilight, no!
We got to go back to dark again, I think. Is this dark?
I love you!
No, that sounds a bit... Oh, which one was it? This one? Yeah.
She put her hooves on the cover flaps of the box. Twilight, no! Please, no! I'm sorry! Don't put me back in the dark! I'm afraid of the dark! You know, I'm afraid of the dark! She closed the lid. Twilight, no, please! I love you! I don't know what I did, but I'm sorry. 2 + 2 = 4. I got the answer right. You taught me that. You were so proud of me. You were my friend. You loved me. I felt her pick up the box and put it somewhere. I know not where. It didn't matter. It was someplace dark. And I was alone.
Intermission. And that intermission is probably the next chapter, right? Dun, dun, dun. It was someplace dark and I was alone. Time passed. Okay. Time is all I've left now.
Time.
I think I want to sort of drag this out for dramatic effect. So we got
I was alone. Time. Time. Time passed. Time is all I have left now.
even though the music happens to drop there a bit, it's by some luck of timing.
Time passed. Time is all I have left now. Time to lay here in the dark and tell you my tale. Years have passed since Allah saw my twilight.
That's all I have left now. Hope I'm not overdoing it. But it looks like there's a good natural break in the music there.
Time to lay here in Time to lay here in the dark and tell you my tale. Years have passed since I last saw my twilight. So very many years I stopped counting. I think of her always. I try to remember her. But I can feel her forgetting about me. I can feel myself fading away along with her memories. Is this what dying is? I run my hoof along the edge of the notebook. I can't see it, but I know it still says that 2 + 2 = 4. I can feel her forgetting about that too, about my big accomplishment. I wonder, is she happy? I hope she is. It's all I've ever wanted, was for her happiness. She's still my very best friend, and I'm hers. Or at least I was. For a while. I was a good friend, wasn't I?
Okay, is that where the chapter ends? Yeah, I was a good friend, wasn't I? So, is this what dying is? There's a big space there. Okay, so what I'm going to do... Yeah, is that the end of the song? Yeah. How does the song end exactly? Like that. So I'm going to copy this because I need the song to last a bit longer. I'll just have it repeat a bit.
Is this what dying is?
Is this what dying is? That's where there's a significant break in the text, so I need it to have a pretty big... What am I doing? It's already quiet, so probably just to 20. As long as it sounds good.
Fading away along with her memories. Is this what dying is? I run my hoof along the edge of the notebook. I can't see it, but I know it still says that 2 + 2 = 4. I can feel her forgetting about that too, about my big accomplishment. I wonder, is she happy?
I think I should make the music a little bit louder here, instead of just getting it to stop and start. Just give it a point in between where it's not distracting, but is also sort of escalating a bit.
I wonder, is she happy? I hope she is. It's all I've ever wanted, was for her happiness. She's still my very best friend, and I'm hers. Or at least I was. For a while. I was a good friend, wasn't I?
And then the chapter will end with the way that this track naturally finishes.
Friend, wasn't I?
There's a little bit of a awkward cutoff, so I'll put a fade in. And then I think the next chapter starts. I was a good friend, wasn't I? Now, there's only a pretty short amount left.
Storage. Clean.
So I'm going to save this, and I'm going to take a little break. I do intend to come back and finish this off before I end the stream, but I'm just going to have a short break. I'm going to get something to drink, get refreshed for trying to get this reading to have a appropriately dramatic ending. I just kind of need to recharge a little bit because the ending can be one of the most important parts for the vibe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up my project audiobooks, every outro song. Bring this up and allow you guys to listen to some music while I take a break without having to stop the stream. I'll be back in a couple of songs.
The moon is high, the night is cold. Ponyville's tales are being retold. Nightmare nights in full swing, but beware the shadows where puppets cling. Pinky's smile stretches wide with secrets that she tries to hide. Beneath the mask her laughter's thin. A darker game is about to begin. When laughter turns to screams, beware the joy is twisted in the air. Pinky's playtime has gone awry. Now every pony's asking why. Myra felt the puppet's grip, cold wood against her trembling lips. Big Mac stood with hollow eyes, and Rainbow saw through the disguise. Fluttershy hides her heart beats fast, hoping that the horror won't last. Twilight's castle holds a clue, but Pinky's lurking, coming for you. When laughter turns to screams, beware the joy is twisted in the air. Pinky's giggles mask her pain. Now Ponyville won't be the same. Rarity cries for Sweetie's fate, too late to save her from the gate. Elements shatter, magic's gone as madness carries on and on. Dashy flies but can't escape, the night's a deadly twisted shape. Pinky's grin is far too wide, she's let the darkness step inside. When laughter turns to screams, beware the fun is twisted in the air. Pinky's playtime has gone awry. Now every pony's asking why. The puppets dance in eerie light, strings pulled tight on this cursed night. Pinky's voice echoes down the street, a haunting tune no pony can beat. Twilight bites, her magic flares, but darkness lingers in the air. Ponyville crumbles, truth unfolds, a tale of terror that's never told. Fluttershy's tears and Rainbow's rage won't free them from this twisted stage. The clock is ticking, the night grows long, Pinky hums her eerie song. Six will rise in 1,000 years to face the darkness, fight their fears. But for now, the night is lost and Ponyville pays the final cost. So lock your doors, hide from the fright, for no one's safe this haunted night. Pinky's games have just begun, and she won't stop till the night is done.
It was a calm day judgment setting in. She ain't using the elements, no rainbow blast from the sky. This justice comes in apple bucket form, and she don't need to justify. Family said good riddance, Twilight said please don't. But when AJ says she's killing you, you won't be missed, you won't. Now there's silence in the valley where the orange booth stood proud. One honest mare just snapped and made her family mighty proud. Violence don't solve nothing, well it sure solved them. So raise a cider to the day she flim-flammed the flim-flam man. She don't lie, she don't bluff, and she don't give a damn. Justice rides on horseback, it rides like Applejack can.
I want to be just like you, a shining star in every room. I followed close, but you never saw the love I had, the only flaw. You called me names, said I was small, a little bird, and after all, but now you're gone, and here I stand, a song for you, just like I planned. Sister, dear sister, where did you go? Under the storm, beneath the glow.
Okay, I'm back, and that's good timing. You guys got to listen to two songs that I haven't used before in a break. Because last time I skipped straight to this For Whom the Bell Tolls song because it was appropriate for the context at the time. Now, what you just heard is what I think is the best outro song for a story that I've created on Suno. Because it was just so cool. It was it sounded like what's it called? Tim Burton's combination of Christmas and Halloween. Man, my mind is blanking. But anyway, then the second song you heard is for a story that's coming up that I haven't released to anyone except members yet. So you guys got a little sample of an upcoming story that is yet to come out unless you become a member and get to access that story now. And if my energy keeps going the way it is, I am probably going to get a whole bunch of extra content for new members to enjoy. And that's the other thing that I want to take this opportunity to basically do a bit of a self advertisement. In the event of me getting so many new members and a lot of more viewership, I've set up, I had to go to my Patreon that only had one tier on it because I frankly had kind of stopped caring about it, stopped thinking about it because I don't actually particularly really want people to subscribe to me on Patreon. What I'd prefer you do is to become a member of my YouTube channel, and I've set up 3 tiers. Where can I show memberships? So I've set up 3 tiers of membership. You can either be a Philly for $1.49 a month, and that gives you early access to all videos that I upload and put up to be ready for later. At the moment, there's will probably be 3 videos that will be accessible only to members once I finish this one, and I will be endeavoring for as long as my energy, my enthusiasm at the moment continues to last. So, yeah, you get these loyalty badges, which is, see, I've got Sazza, Rez, and Timothy here. Sazza Rez has been a member for 2 months, and Timothy for half a year. And it basically increases in colour as you become a longer, more loyal member. And you help to supplement the cost that it takes for me to run this channel. I'm not making a profit on it. I'm not even breaking even. So anything you can do to help is great. Now, if you decide to go for the pony option of $2.99 AUD, you will also get a reading of your choice. So I will read something, create a full-on audiobook for you once for the month that you are subscribed at that tier of 1,000 to 1,500 words. And then if you decide to go up to the horse tier, you'll get a reading of your choice from between 2,000 to 3,500 words, along with all the other benefits. So, yeah, I would really appreciate if you could support me to whatever degree you can. And when I got a whole bunch of new subscribers recently from paying $35 to YouTube to promote my advertisement, I decided I better quickly turn back on some of the membership options in my Patreon, because I also only had the Pinkie Pie tier turned on, and I had deactivated the other ones because, yeah, I didn't really care. So I've got 3 tiers here as well. These other tiers are not currently active. I don't expect anyone to be interested in them. Plus, they probably got outdated offers. So the problem with subscribing to me on Patreon is that I can only offer you some of the benefits. If you subscribe on YouTube, I can offer you all the benefits. All you will get if you subscribe on Patreon is just the early access to the videos, and I have to keep doing that manually. So I have to keep going to my page and adding, so a place, anyway, yeah, I have to keep creating new posts every time I create a new video or whatever. And it's just an extra step I have to take. So, I mean, if a lot of people subscribe to me on Patreon, then it will be worth taking the extra step to distribute my podcast and all that to all the different platforms, as well as Patreon. It's an extra step. But if that's the only way that you want to support me, you don't want to give YouTube a third of your donation, I think Patreon takes a bit less. That's your choice. And I just wanted to open up these 2 tiers for people that want that option. So that's my self-advertisement. Little break thing. So now the advertisement is over and we can get back to what we're here for. Finishing off the last 500 or so words of editing this fic. Now I wonder if I'm going to need to create any more new music, or if the end will just be fairly simple to get done. I'm probably going to want to bring a level of depression back to this story. Yeah, bring it to a new level of depression. Let me just catch myself up on where we were at. So the chapter ended, and then the next chapter starts, and let's see what sort of vibe we want for that.
Storage. clean, empty closet. Voices. After an eternity, voices! The box shifted. And movement!
Okay, so do I have any music that's appropriate for this being locked in a box for who knows how long? No. No. I wondered if I still had an extra sad song to have. Because maybe I will create one more song for this ending. Okay, let me have a quick read, remind myself what it's going to be. Overdue for tea. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this, since it's not very much, and I'm just going to ask for Suno or ChatGPT to give me a prompt for that specific part of the story. Give me a prompt for this final epilogue to the story. Give me a prompt to convey the emotion of this final epilogue to the story. Intimate chamber with minimalist okay. I think I'm still going to want something for the very start of it where it's literally silence for eternity. I just got to figure out how I'm going to convey that. Intimate chamber. Guess we'll find out what that means soon. Okay, so that will be for the final part, but I'm still thinking about the start of that chapter where there's literally just... Let's try droning, silence, droning, foreboding, loneliness. Loneliness. Long lines. God damn it. I mean, Celestia, damn it. Loneliness. Oh, come on. I should know how to spell that. Does anyone know how to spell that? Lone. What on earth? Why can't I spell? Lone. Oh, that is it. Loneliness. See, this is why I'm not a writer, guys. This is why I read instead of write. Okay. I'm just hoping this gives me the vibe I'm hoping for. just for the short little bit at the start of the chapter. I don't really want there to be a piano. What I mean is I want... See, if I had art list, I would know exactly which song to use, because of what I'm thinking. How to get it across. Melancholy. No instruments. I mean, that would probably be in exclude style. Instruments. I don't know. I guess there's going to be a lot of extra stuff in the full soundtrack that doesn't get used. I just want something to involve the pain of silence, I guess. I think that might work a little better. I probably kind of wish I had the right vocabulary to get across what I want. I guess I'll see what Suno says. I need a prompt for a lonely, droning, interpretation of silent loneliness. Loneliness. Oh my god, I still spelt loneliness wrong. I mean Celestia. Guess I'll see what it comes up with. I'm sure the word is somewhere in my head. Minimalist, ambient drone. That's what I was thinking of. But do I... No. Soft wind textures, faint pulse, introspective. Isolating, endless, evoking a void of silent solitude. I think part of that's correct. If I put that in. Oh, it doesn't even fit. Well, there's parts of it I don't want anyway. No sustained. Okay, soft wind textures. No, we're not outside. And faint pulse, introspective, isolating, evoking equality, isolating, endless. Okay, this might work. Evoking a quiet void of silent solitude. It wasn't able to fit part of that in. Evoking quiet void of silent solitude. Will this one work? Okay, I want to get rid of sparse piano echoes. cello. Sustained cello. Okay, I'll try that. Man, I'm being so pedantic right now about just getting the end right. I hope Shakespeare Eccles appreciates it. What does this one sound like? Ooh, that's pretty good. But there's a bit too much high. I'm wanting like low sounds. There we go. There we go. Okay. I think it's good until the actual notes start, but that's probably all the amount that I need. Alright, well, all this is going to be part of the soundtrack for members only. So I better download them all. Even if most of this isn't used in the final product. Now I gotta update it. I've got to go to story. Find out what number I'm up to. I'm up to 18. 18. So 18 and 19 are going to be one of the ones that I use for the rest of the final chapter. And then all of these are failed experiments. But I guess I'll include them in the members only soundtrack. It looks like this might even be bigger than the soundtrack I made for Applejack Loses It. What did I call it? Why do I keep forgetting the name of the last big fic I did? I just don't get it. It's called Applejack Finally Snaps. That's what it's called. And I made 23 tracks for that. Except, although I didn't use all of them, a lot of these tracks are just me trying to get Suno to do what I wanted it to, and it didn't really get close, but I've officially exceeded the amount of music I produced for the Applejack Finally Snaps project, which is available to members now, but non-members will have to wait either half a week or a week for that to come out. Uh-huh. 24. $25. This will be 26. And I think it's that last one that I'm going to use. There's that droning, silent loneliness right there. The dead air on the microphone. As I sit and wait to download these. Yeah, these ones are taking extra long because they're 4 minutes long. And let me just remind myself which of those two I want to go with. That one's got longer until some actual instruments come in. So 27 and 26. Better just put them all in. 26. Okay, this is going to get confusing. I might end up putting in some tracks that I've already put in. What are we up to here? 7, the original, 12, 16, 13, 6, 17. So I'll go 18 just to get them all into the timeline, even if I don't use them all. So yeah, 18 is everything new that I've produced. Let's just chuck them all in and figure it out from there. So these are the two that should be for 18. Oh, what the heck? It started off with the lowest one and then the... Okay, these two are the ones that I'm going to want to use for the final chapter. And then this final one. And these ones are all junk. All the junk. Let's just throw that over there. This should be that one. Okay, that is a lot of work to go into just a couple, what's probably going to be 20 seconds of the overall production. Storage, clean, empty closet, voices. After an eternity. Empty closet. Okay, now which start to this chapter. Okay, I'll probably be combining both, but I think this has got the better start. I'll have it go silent for voices. Or like stop soon after, like this. And voices. After an eternity. Voices. Voices.
eternity. Voices! The box shifted. And movement! The box moved and landed somewhere else. The box opened. Light! Who is that? I looked up at the pony standing over the box. It was the tall one. What's her name? With the wavy mane? It moved and shimmered. She looked older. She looked worn out. No, wait. Her fur was white? This pony's fur isn't. This pony's fur isn't. She froze, putting a hoof over her mouth. She began to cry, silent tears at first, and then openly sobbing. A large dragon appeared beside her. Are you okay? She asked the tall. Are you okay?
Yeah, so I tried to have a old sounding Twilight, I guess. My headcanon for this story is that it's been so long that Twilight is even older than Celestia was at this point, maybe. To sort of get across just how long Smarty Pants has been lonely. It's pretty sad, pretty sad.
A large dragon appeared beside her. Are you okay? He asked the tall pony. She didn't answer. She never took her eyes off of me. Her eyes, those eyes, and her fur. It was the same color as Twilight? He asked. Twilight! Twilight! Twilight? Twilight? Was that really you?
What's actually happening here? Let's get the Twilight, he asked. Right, so Spike asked Twilight. Twilight, he asked. Twilight? Cancel everything, Spike.
It was the same color as Twilight? He asked. Twilight! Twilight! Twilight?
That's the part I get rid of.
Twilight? Twilight? Was that really you? Really you? Cancel everything, Spike. Okay. Cancel everything, Spike.
So here's me trying to portray Twilight is even older than Celestia.
Cancel everything, Spike, Twilight said through her tears. What? For the whole day? He asked. Clear out the week, Twilight said. Twilight, you're a prince.
Okay, I can see from the waveform that it gets a bit louder here, but maybe I should let it get loud for the dramatic moment.
Twilight, you're a princess. You can't just take a vacation like that. I can, and I will. I'm not asking you. I'm telling you. Make it happen. Twilight, where are we going to... Twilight, there are going to be delegates. Twilight, there are going to be delegates downstairs waiting for tea with you. They can wait for me until another time. Just send them away. I don't care how. Go! She dismissed him. She left to carry out her orders, closing the door behind him. She reached into the box, gently taking me in her hooves. The box crumbled away from around me, disintegrating from the passage of the...
Yep, it sure has been a long time.
Disintegrating from the passage of the years.
Okay, I think I might let that track finish.
They can wait. They can wait. You've waited for me long enough. She cradled me in her hooves and
Oh yeah, okay. There we go.
passage of the years.
So that was track 18. Where did I put 19? 2. What? Over here? There it is. That's the one I want to finish it off with.
They can wait. You've waited for me long enough. She cradled me in her hooves and kissed me. I still had my notebook with me. I showed it to her. Look, it says that 2 + 2 = 4. You taught me that. Remember? Hang on. Look, it says that 2 + 2. I showed it to her. Look, it says that 2 + 2 = 4. Look, it says that 2 + 2 = 4. You taught me that. Remember? I do. I was so proud of you. You were such a good friend. And you were my best friend. And I forgot all about you for all these years. I'm so sorry. Twilight bawled. I had never seen her. I had never seen her so sad. I had never seen her. I had never seen her so sad as she openly wept. She clutched me tight to her as she cried and cried and cried, wetting my fur with her tears. She let it all out, all the years of stress and responsibility of being an adult. It was okay. She hugged me. She remembered me. It was okay. We could be young again together. She carried me to her bed. It was bigger now. She laid down and held me beside her. She looked so tired. It would be okay. She just needed a little nap. That always helped her before. She wept as she laid in her bed, clutching me close. She wept for the cruel irony that the first friend she made, the one that had always been there for her and truly understood her the most, was the one that she abandoned first. I love you. I love you. I will never forget about you or leave you alone in the dark again. Intermission. End of story.
Oh wow, okay. Now,
Intermission. End of story. Author's note.
should I make a song for the author's note? Oh, I don't know. Let's just let this song finish out. I wasn't sure if it was going to be long enough, but I guess it will be. Oof, it's a pretty long finish. Hope it's not too long.
In the dark again.
I'm just going to keep with the usual tradition of not having music during author's notes. Even though this author's note is a quote from someone else.
Author's note.
What's with that tiny click at the start there?
Author's note. Young things ought to want to grow, but to carry on into middle life or even into early adulthood, this concern about being adult is a mark of really arrested development. When I was 10, I read fairy tales in secret and would have been ashamed if I had been found doing so. Now,
Let's get rid of that breath.
Now that I am 50, I read them openly. When I became an adult, I put away childish things, including the fear of childishness, and the desire to be very grown up. C.S. Lewis.
And that is it. Final thing to do is to delete all this unused crap. These unused sound effects. Let's keep saving. All these are, I guess they'll all go into the final soundtrack even though I didn't use them. And then the important one is here, marked by the fact that there's the MP3 video. Let's listen to it now after being extremely indulged in this project for now a total of nearly 3.5 hours it's taken to edit this.
Including the fear of childishness and the desire to be very grown
Let's
up.
hear the outro song.
C.S. Lewis.
I was stitched to be your shadow, soft hooves and button eyes. I held you through the thunder, I saw you touch the skies. From diaper days to magic spells, I watched you find your way. You smiled and said we'd be best friends forever and a day. Even in the dark when you forgot my name, I still believed you'd find me all the same. 2 + 2 is 4, and love is more than a notebook full of memories. We swore we'd never lose, we'd never bend. You were my first, my forever friend. And though the shadows took their claim, you found me, you called my name, held me close and said again, I'll never leave you in the dark again. I guarded every secret, I braved the deepest gloom. When laughter faded, doors were closed, I stayed inside your room. When other dreams came calling and crowns began to shine, I waited hard, unchanging, frozen in a box of time. Even when the years had worn us thin, I still believed I'd hear you call me in. 2 + 2 is 4, and love is more than a dusty shelf of dreams we store. You came back when the tears had bled, you cradled me and bowed your head. And though the silence screamed with pain, you found me, you knew my name, and whispered through your tears again, I'll never leave you in the dark again. Time stitched the scars into your wings, but love still sews and we'll never be alone again. 2 + 2 is 4, and love is more than every lonely night endured before. You held me close, you stayed this time. You made the dark and silence shine, and in your arms I'll still remain. You found me, you healed the pain, and promised with your soul again. I'll never leave you in the dark again. Never in the dark again. Never in the dark again.
Okay, I think that's officially the end of that project, the audio, anyway. Now, something that I need to do with that, making use of projects that I've done previously. I'm going to bring up Alright, I got to bring up a new instance of Vegas Pro, because the most recent projects are stuff since after my last audiobook project, which you guys will see showing up soon in the early access for members section of the channel. But I just need my last main audiobook project. Oh man, there are none. Holy crap, I've done a lot of other projects, so I've just got to bring one up manually. I need radio edit will do. This is another fic reading you guys will have access to now if you become members. That's not out yet, but I just wanted to copy, for consistency, the edit that I made to this thingy, Suno TikTok shaped video thing, so that it's consistent with every other video. And then the final part of all this is going to be in another stream. I want to get it over and done with tonight. So this next stream that I'm going to start for the final part of the process, the video editing process, which will hopefully only take about 30 minutes. It's going to be on a different stream. And I'm going to put an end to this one as the official end of the audio editing stage. The next stream will be about finishing it off with the cover, title cards and all that. So this is the end of the audio editing. So I'm now going to close out this stream with the theme song. My brand new thingamajig. Hang on. I got to get the hang of this, putting it back to the top corner of the screen mode. And let's go. And I ruined it by coughing. Sorry about that.
Mystery Pony Fiction Channel. Mystery. Also available as a podcast on Spotify. Pony. And Izzy Moonbow is best pony, by the way. Fiction. Bro, hoof, comment, subscribe.